welcome to the bonus episode of the Tenerife Pod, sponsored by BGR Solutions. I'm your host, Jenny T, back with the Men in Black once again. We have Steve Ballard.
Hi.
And Chris Elkington. Guess who's back?
I know.
Back again.
I'm here to lower the tone. I was listening to your last pod on the plane, and it was like you were so sophisticated, and I was like, I don't know if I can compete with this, so I need to lower the tone.
We had opera, jazz, poetry. It was very sophisticated.
Do you know what though? Do you know what? Because interesting what you said about a jazz club, because I've always wanted to open one. I've always thought that. Yeah, I know. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But years ago, before Tibu in Patch was Tibu, it used to have all sorts of different events on, and there was this one time, it's going back a long time now, and they had this sort of jazz blues band. I wouldn't say it was a pure jazz band because they had the big double bass, and the lead singer looked just like Rick Mail. They were from the UK. They were brought over, and he was like proper faces, you know? and they were amazing. And it just got me, because I was like, well, if you're going to open a venue, the thing about that sort of club is it's international, and it attracts people who spend money.
Yeah.
So you think about it.
Does it? Like, I don't
totally.
Spin with these people because I'm not spending money. Maybe I'm in the wrong circles. I didn't realise it was such a big...
Well, it's generally a slightly older age group, and it's generally international. And normally, if you go to these places, there is a minimum cover on the table. A bit like getting a sunbed at one of the beach clubs.
Yeah.
There's like a minimum spend, but in the jazz club. And it does mean that you attract a certain clientele, certain quality of product, and it's just something that I've always thought. So I was really interested listening to that.
I think we need something like that, though, because there's nothing like it. And it's one of those places, like you said, it will attract a certain crowd. And it's niche, but also it's the sort of place that you'd want to go and discover. And you go, oh, I like a bit of jazz. Or, you know, if my parents are here, I'd definitely be taking my dad.
Totally. And the Jazz Festival is really good because it introduces it to people. Yeah. I mean, there used to be Jazzissimo. Do you remember Jazzissimo?
No.
That was underneath the Tenerife Sol Hotel.
Oh, okay.
And that was good. But it was not the right sort of thing, because I'm thinking more of a sort of Ronnie Scott's in London, where it's a bit more underground. All that sort of thing, I just think it's something that would really work.
Why didn't you open one?
This was quite recent.
Were you listening to a podcast and thought?
No. Over the last few years, honestly, I don't like working nights anymore.
That's what it is.
I love working days.
It's going to be too late, because it's quite. All I ever imagined, Ronnie Scott's, for example. My dad took me to Ronnie Scott's, and this is going back in the 1990s when smoking was allowed indoor, before the smoking ban, and it was exactly that, a smoky, quite dark.
Was it like the Fast Show?
It was, yeah, and it's exactly like you think it is. So every table had a lamp on with a nice thing, and the lighting was very low, and there was a stage in the corner, and it was smoke just lingering. It was just. I walked in and I went, this is exactly how I imagined a jazz club to be, and it's like.
And I just think that one of those over here in the right location. You know, not Veronica's, because obviously you don't want to be there, but in the right location.
You might not want to be there.
Well, no, for this venue. Jen, I really want to see you down Veronica's. When was the last time you went to Veronica's?
Probably a while ago. I probably think for that 90s baby at Papagayo.
That doesn't count.
Okay,
that doesn't count.
It was probably pre-kids, or maybe like...
So you're talking 10 years ago?
Probably, yeah. I think.
So you really want to go to Veronica's, don't you?
I actually really don't, but I do miss being young and carefree and just
I had a friend come over with his mum.
Another one.
Who...
You have a lot of friends come over, don't you?
Well, it's a free holiday for them, isn't it? They have to pay for the flights. But he didn't. He stayed in a hotel on the Strip, so he stayed in like the Sol or whatever. Anyway, and that 2022, I went to Tramps, and I hated every second of it. I don't want to be here. But his mum was there, and she's in her 60s, and she's giving it this.
But that's what dance festivals are for now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what festivals are for. If you want to get your fix on DJs and stuff, go to a festival these days. It'll be. But I just thought if you're talking at the Fania Bay, Del Duque area, this, that, and the other.
Oh yeah.
You know, to do a proper jazz club, I think it would be something that would be really successful.
I think I'm just maybe in that in-between phase in my life. Like, I don't want to do Veronica's, but I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think I'm.
No, you're not. You're way too young.
Yeah. What do I do then? I like a date.
Pop a few more kids out? I don't know.
Oh,
Is
God,
that what
no,
you do?
definitely not. Thank you for that suggestion, but you can keep your advice to yourself.
Hard pass.
So thanks, but no. Thanks for your time. Thanks for coming. Obviously, I'm going to come to you in a minute, Chris, because you've had quite an adventure. I wanted to mention my weekend.
Go.
So I've had a bit of a touristy weekend. I did the beach.
Nice.
And even though the weather wasn't 100%, it was a bit cloudy, it was still lovely on the beach. And then the plans were to go to Syon Park yesterday. Then we see the weather app and we're like, shall we sack it off? And me and my friend said, you know what, let's just go anyway. Like, we're just going to have a good time.
It's the best time to go.
I think so.
It was, and I'll tell you why. We did not queue for one thing.
Amazing.
Like, and my oldest is that age now where he's starting to be able to go on the rides and actually enjoy them. So
Is that because of from his age or his height? Because
age
obviously
and
it's
height. But
governed.
I didn't realise at Syon Park they on some of the rides they have a weight limit, not
Oh, really?
limit. Like you have to be
A minimum.
A minimum, yeah. So on like the Singer, there's 2 people on it, and between you, you have to be 90 kg.
Yeah. Otherwise you get stuck because there has to be a weight in order for you to get pushed along, and if you're not heavy enough, you won't go anywhere. You'll just get stuck
Thanks for
in
the
the
science,
tube.
Dr. Steve.
Well, no, it's good to know because if you're going, I walked all the way up with 3 kids to the top to realise like I couldn't go on them. And then bless the lifeguards, they were trying to find random people in the queue, but I was like, some of these kids aren't mine. I can't put them on a ride
So
with
does
a
that mean
stranger.
90 kilos, yeah? So I can go on with my hamster. Is that what you're saying? Because combined weight would be like more than 90 kilos.
I could
Sure.
go on my own.
I
could just go on my own.
So yeah, that was good to know. But I just thought top
Was it busy?
tip. Well, that's what I mean. No, because there was no queues for anything.
Which-
I know. I get there was no queues, but was the park busy in general,
Like,
or
it
is this
wasn't-
like a tip for holidaymakers? When the weather's bad, don't
Like,
look
look
for
at
stuff
the-
indoors.
Go
to
to
Syon Park.
but
for
it is
it.
weird because a Sunday is normally a day for
it's
residents
normally busy, yeah.
to go because they're like, it's Sunday, it's a family day, let's just go.
Like Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's normally busier than that. So I like that idea of, it's a bit cloudy.
It didn't feel dead. It didn't feel like it was empty, but it was just nice. It was like, yeah.
No queues is always nice.
And how was the beach?
Beach was lovely, actually. Again, I sat on the beach with a hoodie on, but I wasn't there to get a tan. Like the kids were playing, we were having a lovely time. Then about 5 o'clock, sun came out, beautiful sunset, and you know I'm a sucker for a sunset. It was
I'll
great.
tell you what. Now that's interesting because when I listened to the last pod, you did cocktails.
Yes.
Which were, and I agree with you on ginger, by the way, Steve. I was
Thank
going to
you.
mention, was it the mule they used to do at
They
the
do a
Garter?
the Moscow Mule
Was
is
that-
a ginger-based vodka with ginger ale.
Yeah, I must have. Was it ginger ale or ginger beer?
It
'Cause
might
I
be
really like
ginger
ginger
beer,
beer.
I think.
but
It was a gingery, very gingery.
What's
yeah.
the difference between ginger ale and ginger beer?
Ginger beer is much more gingery. Ginger ale used to be the Schweppes used to get it in the little
Canada
bottles.
Dry.
It was Canada Dry, really sort of clear brown.
Quite light.
Whereas ginger beer is far more cloudy and it's a better drink. But anyway, I was going to say ginger one. But you surprised me, not by mentioning the Vault because their cocktails are brilliant, but I expected you to mention somewhere where you got a sunset to have your cocktail with a sunset. You really surprised me.
Oh, well, I mean, it was about the cocktail, though, wasn't it? Not about the
okay.
experience,
Oh,
necessarily.
really?
Yeah, but
But
then
don't you think it goes hand in hand?
it can do. But
I
then
mean, it
isn't
always
a cocktail good with some great entertainment? And the Vault's always got great bands.
No, I
as well.
disagree. That's when you're power drinking or craft beering.
Oh.
I think it always makes me laugh when you see, and my ex-missus is going to go mental at this, but you see like, come and have our cocktails overlooking a roundabout in San Eugenio. Whereas, for me, Roca Negra and Roca Blanca, the two rockers, for different reasons. Roca Blanca, one of my daughters loves it because they do the whole sunset music, have a girl dancing, hit the gong and all the rest of it. It's all very Ibiza. Then Roca Blanca in Los Cristianos. I took my mum there for her 80th, believe it or not. And just overlooking with the sunset, really chilled out and all the rest of it. For me, that's cocktails.
Yeah.
I don't see cocktails, I'm not going to sit in a bar watching Elvis with a drink with an umbrella and a big slice of pineapple in it.
Well,
that
I
doesn't-
would. That wouldn't bother me. I think as well.
Are you like a bit of a Del boy?
I don't think so. No, I'm just someone that likes a cocktail. And also, I think it depends for me who I'm with. So if I'm out with the girl, we're having cocktails wherever.
I think company
we
is
are.
important.
If you're going somewhere with
Yeah.
your mum and it's her birthday, you need a lovely experience and a cocktail and a sunset fair. But also, if you're with the girls and you want to do a boomerang Instagram with your cocktails.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Although I must say, you mentioned the boomerang trees in the vault, which are epic.
I haven't had one of those yet.
So, something to make your way
on the
through.
to-do list.
Like if you're on your own. Talking of your porn star, your favourite.
I was going to say, breaking news: Jen likes a porn star.
I do.
I found out how to drink it because we weren't sure about this. The shot of
with the
Carver and the thing. Okay, so apparently,
Dr. Steve did some research.
I did. It is a sipping drink, so it's sip.
So it's not down like you said?
No, I thought it was.
See, I did my research and I found that we were right. Someone else was saying it's a palate cleanser.
I thought that when I was listening. When I was listening, the words palate cleanser came to mind, and then you said it. Although I did think Jen wants to Jaeger bomb it.
Yeah.
You
want to drop it in.
Put it in.
I think as a former shot girl, done too many Jaeger bombs, and I have like PTSD from them now. Like
So everybody was, because that's what I thought first of all. So it turns out we probably are right, but then other people are saying it's a sip both. So I mean, I don't know anymore.
Maybe just do what you want to do. It depends.
Do you, boo?
You do you, boo. I like to sip a little, chuck a little bit in, have a slurp.
But you see, I think you're being greedy because you like a drink porn star, shall we say? Because you get 2 drinks. Whereas I always liked a mojito because it was like a meal.
Yeah.
What you said about the mint, I can't drink it anymore. Before I was diagnosed as being diabetic, I used to have real cravings for Fanta lemon and mojitos.
Wow.
Yeah, which, let's be honest, sugar.
Yeah.
But mojito is like a meal. It's a snack as well. You know,
there's a lot going on.
Eat the mint, suck the lime, drink the drink.
Sugar in there. Need an insulin blast because I'm going to go into a coma.
And but can I just say, just to finish this off, I listened to the pods on both flights. Yeah?
Yeah.
I saved them. All right? So when I went back on the Tuesday, you had Rick with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I had to listen to that one on the plane. And I was proper laughing out loud. And I got my earpods in. I did say I was going to play it full volume without them, but I didn't. But especially when you, Jen, went, not bad for a Geary, I was like proper laughing. And then the two of you on Friday, on my journey back on Friday, I did well this time, Steve. I managed to time my travel for Tuesday and Friday.
Wow, okay.
And I was laughing out loud on the plane, and I think I must have really annoyed a few. I had a few.
You've got quite the laugh, haven't you?
It's funny though. We were talking about behaviour on planes on the pod. So you might have been laughing at
indeed.
Because it was like...
Now, I'm going to comment on this.
Okay.
I'm going to comment. No, this is serious because obviously I've just gone back. And I think, and I don't know what you think about this, I've noticed that, or I feel, that the stewardesses or the cabin crew are visibly more relaxed on the flight from here to the UK than on the flight from the UK to here.
Agreed.
Because on the way... For most people going back after their holiday, everyone's kind of partied and holidayed out and a bit more chilled out. They're not drinking on the plane as much. They're not, we had a hen party who were really well behaved, but the lads around them were a right pain. And, this was on Friday coming back and, the stewardesses were visibly being far more authoritative or far more riled. Is that a right word?
Yeah, riled, yeah.
And I just think that I think that was noticeable. I don't know what you think about that.
I would tend to agree. And being someone that takes budget flights to and from the island,
too,
so the Ryanairs and your EasyJet, that's also tends to be. I know this was an incident we talked about was on our jet too, but I've noticed more so with social media that people are commenting on the cheaper flights tend to have that element of misbehaviour, and I think you're 100% right. Coming back. Much more relaxed because they seem to be tired. Like you said, holidayed out, they don't want to do anything more, they just want to go home now at that point. But on the way there's the excitement of going on holiday, there's the got to do the pre-holiday beer at the airport, and that's where it starts.
I think it's because you guys were talking about cabin crew. On the last pod you were talking about obviously the open day. I was kind of watching them because you very... you pointed out that they're there more there for
it's all about safety,
than just. And I was, really watching them, and it was noticeable. They were far more relaxed on my journey when I went back to the UK than on the way out here. They were far more, they were a bit more on edge. They were watching out for people a bit more. They were almost preparing themselves because I don't know how you feel, but. My parents are in their 80s, and I spoke to them about this when I was at home. I'm not going to say they get anxious about travelling, but they do, in the back of the mind, think, on the way here, is there going to be an issue with someone? I mean, we had a guy, and I'm not being funny, he's about the same age as me, and he just wouldn't put his T-shirt on for some stupid. I know, and he was like, he just wouldn't. He just kept taking his T-shirt off, and obviously the stewardess was like, you really need to put your top on. It's and why? And he was just being so obnoxious.
Yeah.
And, it just seems that, I don't know, do you get anxious about travelling or the thought that something may happen?
I don't get anxious at the thought of travelling. I think since I became a parent, I feel like I always bring up the fact that I'm a parent, but travelling with kids I find stressful. Like, not only like the lead up to it, the packing, getting everything ready, the thought of being stuck in a tin can in the air with like not a lot, especially when they're babies and stuff, I find that anxious. Because if you have experienced a baby crying on a plane, it's not nice. I get it, it's not nice.
My own, I've got kids.
And it isn't pleasant, but it's also not pleasant for that parent that's trying their best with very limited resources. It's not like they're at an age where you can put them on a tablet, or they're not going to do a colouring book. Like, I've spent flights just walking up and down an aisle, down an aisle with a toddler that's learning to walk. So I get anxious at that. As my kids are getting older, I'm finding travelling more enjoyable again. But just travelling in general, no. Like, I don't... And I can't say I've noticed either the one flight, one way being... The cabin crew being different. But
I was talking to the stewardesses, and I'm sure Steve's got some stats for us, but they sell far more alcohol to people on the way here than they do on the way back. On the way back, they sell more duty-free. Because obviously people have got maybe some money left over, haven't bought their final perfumes, fags or whatever, so they get stuff. But it was just interesting. I don't know, what do you think, Steve?
It's, for me, certainly, it's not an anxiety similar to Jen, but there is this certain, on that journey from the UK to here, in the back of my mind, am I going to be involved in an incident in the air? Because if there's one thing that I would
Which dickhead is going to kick off? That's
exactly. Well, yeah, okay. But I'm also one of these people, if somebody needed restraining and the cabin crew were genuinely needing assistance, I would
we've got to see that.
But also in the back of my mind is, are we getting diverted somewhere? Am I going to in frigging Madeira or Portugal or whatever? Because that's going to put a dent in my day. I'm going to be really peed off if I end up in Portugal.
I get you'd be peed off, but if some things that are out of your control, like why would
yeah, but I would. I'm not peed off at anything other than that person for doing it, not the situation itself, because it's out of the control. But I would want to. Give
my parents were on
slap.
my parents were on a Jet 2 from Birmingham to here, which had to land in Portugal, and it was because somebody on the plane was putting lighter fuel on their hands and setting fire to it. Because obviously it doesn't burn. I know, so they had to land and this, that, and the other. And I saw it online, and then I spoke to my parents and went, "My God, did you?" And they went, "Yes, we were on that plane." And I said, "Do you not realise that you're shareholders in the Canarian Weekly? Did you not think to send me the story?
Just to mention it.
Just to send me a text going, we've been diverted.
Breaking
just
news.
to give you a heads up." And I was like, oh, for God's sake. But anyway, so... But no, it was just interesting off the back of what you were talking about. Yeah. It made me look at it.
The law's really interesting on this because endangering an aircraft is a criminal offence which carries a sentence of over 5 years in prison. And endangering an aircraft is down to the air crew, so that's the flight crew, and the stewardesses telling the police when they board what was going on. Yeah. So the law is very straight on that. Yeah. So somebody like that setting fire to their house, that's endangering an aircraft.
Absolutely.
Being drunk on an aircraft is illegal.
Yeah.
And carries a sentence of 5 years or more.
I do get on a plane and have a little quick scan about and think, right, what am I going to try and avoid? Right, anyway, speaking of travelling, Chris, I'm coming to you, and I have not even played one stinger yet. So both of you, be quiet.
Get that stinger finger.
First of all, Chris, have you had a good time in the UK?
Yeah, it was great. Really good time. Family, daughters, granddaughter, up and down the country. Do you know what?
What's your granddaughter doing now? What's it like?
She's 2.5.
Yeah.
So she's in nursery. Walking,
chatting.
She doesn't stop. Do you know what though? I had a real sort of circle of life moment for the first time ever because my girls moved back to Newcastle, live in Newcastle, to England in 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
And obviously I used to go back all the time. Every 8 weeks I used to go back to see them, pick them up from school. And, you know, it'd be, Daddy, running through the school. And I went to pick up Lorena on Friday, the Friday I got back, or I went up there from nursery. And she saw me through the window. And all I heard was, Grandad! And she came running over like a little ET, as they do at that age. And it was just like, oh my God, it just took me back 20 years like that, you know. But do you know what though? I travelled from Stratford-on-Avon to Newcastle and back. Not one traffic jam, not one bit of roadworks, apart from where it was slightly narrowed, where they're doing the HS2 railway through by Birmingham Airport, and no cones on the motorway at all.
That is a surprise.
What a treat.
Do you know what? And then, so, had a really good time.
I think that's what you're most excited about.
No, not at all. But I'm not going to go into personal stuff. But it's going to lead on to the fact that all my travel was seamless. I won't talk about the way there because that was easy. But coming back, as I said, I've tried to avoid Friday travel because we know it's the biggest changeover day. We know it's the day when you're going to get the most planes landing at an airport.
Planes,
You know it's going to be the queues that people are putting videos on in arrivals and passport control. So I don't know about you guys, always pay a few quid for fast track to go through security. Yep. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Got on the plane, had a row of 3 to myself, hit the jackpot, and then landed. And I was like, right, here we go.
Okay, because you landed on Friday. What time did you land?
About 4:30.
Okay, so that's kind of a
Prime
horrendous time.
Prime time. There was 9 flights.
Wow.
And when you're walking, I mean, they directed us through Terminal A for baggage collection, not C.
Yeah.
And it was quite a long walk. But each time there was other flights coming off and filtering into the queue. So you're thinking, this is going to get mental because if anyone took a picture or video of that, then there was a lot of people walking in the same direction. However, when we got to passport control, they've changed it around. Now, we wrote the other day about the fact that AENA have been told to put staff on and reroute people in peak times.
Yes.
All right, and Fridays over here are a peak time.
Yeah.
And they had, so when you got there, there was a sign saying wait time max 25 minutes.
Ooh, a bit like a Disney.
Yeah. Digital scoreboard. Like they do going through security, they have obviously a time. All the machines were working, all right? But they were also, there was about 4 staff there, not checking the passports, but asking you what you'd got. And if you'd obviously got an EU passport, different queue. If you'd already done your fingerprinting, you had to do the machine, but you were nice and quick. However, the very, very first line, bright pink, third country nationals with residency.
Ooh, separate queue. Separate line,
nice. Separate queue. There was a family one as well, obviously, as you know, because as you know, with kids, people have to go through. They don't have to do the biometrics. And I walked through, all right, because I went, here's my TIE. Yep, no problem, sir. Go that way. I was the only person. So he, rather than scan the passport, he scanned both in the machine. Out, and I was in the car within 4 minutes.
Wow.
Because I had the car at the airport, which is why I said I was listening to you on the radio. And they've really put that in place now for residents. So they have now got the separate channel, the separate line. As long as you've got your TIE, you come off where the machines are, you filter left straight through that line, and you're out within minutes.
So third party, what's it
called?
Third
country nationals.
Right.
With residency.
If you're a family and a third country national,
pick a line.
Just
pick a line. Well, if you've got TIE and they've got residencies, you go through that one. Otherwise, you're joining the family queue with the people who are coming with British passports. Yeah. Yeah. Which that one at school times can be as busy as the normal one, can't it?
Yeah.
So but they've got the resident queue now, and it was absolutely seamless. It was really quick. I felt I had to mention it because nobody's put a video up about it.
Saying how easy it is.
Well, exactly. And to be honest with you, you read about these things that they're going to do something about it, but then you claim you never see it. But do you know what, Steve? It was absolutely seamless.
And we did speak about it on the pod because AENA did say we are putting extra staff on. And I'm glad that's been confirmed because I noticed in the last 4 or 5 days there are still people taking a picture. Now, you said about how many people were coming off flights.
Yep.
If I'd taken a still image of that and gone, oh my God, it's
easily.
terrible, it would have looked terrible.
Yep.
However, knowing that queue was moving.
It was flowing.
Exactly, but a still picture doesn't tell us anything.
And also,
it doesn't give us the, the
also,
genuine...
on my way there, I actually put a video taking the piss a little bit because it was empty.
There was no one there, yeah.
It was empty.
It was all the green barriers, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I noticed that there's actually, Diario de Visos have picked up on an English family on TikTok who've actually put, we were expecting the worst, and when we got there, ... it was empty.
Yeah.
Because obviously people are reading, are believing what they're seeing on TikTok and Instagram and social media more than necessarily what they're reading in the press at times, although yes, you've got the scaremongers, which are Steve's favourite, but
the red tops,
but to be honest, it was absolutely seamless, and I've got to take my hat off to the organisation.
We only ever, and this is, I don't know whether this is just normal for life now, we only ever see the negative. Nobody ever puts anything on there saying, actually, it was really nice.
Well, it's like anything though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like people don't often leave reviews unless it's like something that they want to moan about. Not often people
what's the old
enticed to
adage?
go,
If you have a bad experience, you'll tell 10 people. If you have a good experience, you'll tell 2.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's what they say it is, yeah. So a bad experience, you'll go, oh my God, it was dreadful, Ryanair were awful, 10 people easily. But if you have a really good flight, it's really calm, everything was really nice, you're lucky if you tell 2.
Well, I've got to be honest, the whole thing, from arrival at the airport, Birmingham Airport, on the plane, everything was absolutely seamless.
Cool.
So it was a joy, Jen.
I'm pleased. I'm really pleased. And did you have all right weather?
Yes, it was very crisp spring morning, shall we say. Blue skies, round about 13, 14 degrees. So you're still wearing, obviously, your jeans and a hoodie and you wear it over here in 20-odd degrees. But I don't. But it was really nice. I don't think I saw any rain, to be honest with you.
Oh, lovely. What a treat. Yeah, I don't know if we want to go into the weather, but yeah, like it's been a bit cloudy here. But you told me earlier you're feeling a bit pasty after being in England for a week.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's common knowledge within us that my mornings are spent in the gym and spa. And I kind of looked in the mirror this morning and went, I really need to get a tan. But I'm not a sunbather. Now, before I went away, you mentioned about holiday haircut, but you mentioned about getting a base tan.
Like a pre-tan
So,
tan.
what do you call it?
A pre-tan tan.
A pre-tan tan. Pre-tan tan.
Pre-tan tan.
Sounds like...
Do you know, actually, as a child, like before I'd go on holiday, because I'm quite fair, I've got freckles, I'm quite pasty. My mum, there was an era where my mum would... do you remember this? You would hire a sunbed, and it would go over the bed.
Yeah.
So my mum would hire it.
And used to wear those little goggles.
Yeah, and she would get me to lie on it just for a couple of minutes a night to get my skin ready for the sun. I don't know, I don't know if that's recommended, but yeah, my mum used to do. As I was a child, I reckon she wanted to hire a sunbed to get herself a lovely tan, and was like, "It's for Jenny."
It was more for her than it was for you. That's what it sounds like. I
Probably.
never did that. I've seen them, but I've never sunbedded in my life.
Well, I when Jen mentioned the pre-tan tan, which is really fun to say, is there anywhere over here you can get a spray tan? Because I mean, I've only my experience of spray tan is watching Ross on Friends.
Oh my God, that's so funny. It appeared on my feed the other day. It was so.
What's that?
I'm an 8.
And he's like, he was standing. There's nozzles on both sides, and he turns the wrong way and gets another dose.
It's a classic moment.
So funny.
So I kind of know what not to do.
Yes.
What do you wear? I'm a bit worried about
Paper pants.
I was going to say paper pants.
Paper pants.
You know, like sometimes if you go for a massage and they leave you with that little pair of pants, I never know which way round it goes. I'm like, anyway.
I thought that went on your head.
What should you wear on your bums then?
Just kept with boxer shorts.
I think there's what are you wearing something on your head for a massage for? Okay.
To mop the sweat, mop your brow.
Why are you sweating so much?
Because it gets hot.
This is taking a turn. I feel like the porn star Martini is nothing on Chris and his
I told you I'd
massage.
lower the tone. Didn't I?
Guaranteed.
I know what's happened to this pod. Paper pants. I'm going to take you back.
So hang on, I've got to stand there in paper pants.
Yeah. What's your question?
While someone sprays you, or while the booth sprays you. I mean, is it a bit like getting your car done when somebody's there?
They've got
I don't know. How does it work? How does it work?
It's that, yeah. I'm going to go to 2014. So there's different types you can get. You can stand in like with those. I've not seen them out
What,
here.
a Ross booth?
A Ross
Like
or
a
a
Ross
Ross booth,
booth.
yeah.
Right.
Or I think what's more common here maybe is like a tent you stand in. And then
What, one of the
people-
machines you
people-
used to spray your plants with?
But basically, yeah.
full of fate.
I remember I first moved here in 2014 and I worked for the Holiday Village. I worked for First Choice and it was coming to the end of season jolly, which was a big deal.
Always
I
a big
had
party,
a
yeah.
fluorescent orange dress. I was like, I mean, I've been working outside all summer. My tan wasn't bad, but you got the... can I
T-shirt
say
marks.
it?
Yeah.
The twat tan.
Yeah, t-shirt.
Is that what it's
I
called?
don't know what it is
I
now.
thought it was T-shirt tan.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
because
t-shirt
it's a
tan.
T. It's a T. And it's
That
I
makes
never
sense.
knew that.
No, I didn't
also
either.
known as
Oh, every
I like
day's
it.
school day.
I
the
like
tui
it.
tan or
Yes.
twat tan. So you had a bit of that going on. So I was like, right.
I prefer pre-tan tan rather than twat tan.
A twat tan is very different to a pre-tan tan.
To a
It's
twat tan.
two different things. So I'd just moved here and I'd found like a Facebook forum, like wanted Tenerife or whatever. So I'd written in it, anyone know anywhere that does a spray tan. I got so much abuse. Like, oh, you're in Tenerife. What do you need that for? Just go outside, sit on sunbed. Like, no, you clearly don't understand. I
Is
wanted-
that how you... Did you actually read the comments
That's
in
how
that
you
voice?
hear it.
'Cause
Yeah,
that's
of
like...
course.
That's probably how they type them. What are you here for? You're going outside. It's sunny. Oh, you live in Tenerife. That's my impression of the trolls.
That's what they sound like. That's what I'm with you on that, Jen. Because
But I was just like-
keyboard
For
warrior
me, it was
idiot
like a
gammon.
really simple question. Just wanted a spray tan. Like,
Don't
Well,
come
I
at me.
want one. So where
Right.
do I go?
Oh, careful!
That-
Don't put it in a forum because you'll get. Just go outside.
Jen, will you put it in a forum for me, please?
yeah, I'm getting so used to this abuse
Yeah.
now. Anyway,
Yeah.
I went to a place and I don't think it's there anymore. It's called Pinky's in Los Cristiano in the
Okay.
Yeah.
Apollo Centre. However, I've
Shout
had a
out
look.
to Amy. Amy used to own Janet
okay.
Ross's daughter. Yeah.
Okay, might have been
Actually,
her
that was in
did
our
it.
old studio.
I didn't know you had a studio
Where
there.
Pink? Yeah, we used to be in the Apollo Centre. That was when we were next door to the church, and now Alcoholics Anonymous. Because it's a very famous story where, let me put the camera on, where one of our presenters, Chris Merritt, God rest his soul, had a dog, and his dog's name was Boozer.
Oh, I remember this.
And Chris was shouting outside the door, "Boozer! Boozer!" While they're all waiting to go into Alcoholics Anonymous.
God's sake.
True story, really unfortunate, but true story. But downstairs, underneath, sort of on the left-hand side when you walk through, that was our production studio, where Ian Leonard used to be based. We had 3 offices there. The one I burnt down. Do you not know that? Do you not know that story?
don't know
I
that.
never told you that
I
story.
remember
so.
something to do with a sewage pipe that went wrong and came
No,
in.
that was in the original studio. in
Oh, okay.
Taganasses.
I
That
don't
was
know about a
Taganasses.
fire though.
Well, so we had the
Was it an insurance job? What did you
It was
do?
an inside job. Yeah.
if it was only that easy. Jim. So we had the studio upstairs next to the church and Boozer. Then we had the production studio downstairs. Then on the front, where you've got the cross,
Yeah.
we had the main office on the end. And this is when, God, it was a few years ago, because it was when we were doing the gigs at Noctua with Cream and Ministry of Sound, Gatecrashers, so a lot of late nights and all the rest of it. And in those days, I used to smoke, and you could smoke inside.
Yeah.
And I was the last, and the doors had reflective, so you couldn't see in.
Right.
Yeah. And I was the last to leave, and I emptied my ashtray into the bin. Oh. I know. You know what happened,
Yeah,
don't you?
I can guess.
Anyway, the next morning, I got a phone call at about 9 o'clock, taking to count. I've been at Noctua till 6 o'clock in the morning, working. And basically, the whole office, you know when it snows, and it's just that, without a footprint in it? It was like that, but soot.
Oh my god.
The whole. So I didn't actually burn it down. A few things obviously got damaged, but yeah. So, and we've still got folders now where if you open them, you have to keep your accounts that long. If you open them, your fingers get black from the plastic file.
Oh my god.
You know, in all the old accounts from like 20 years
Wow.
ago. Still got them. So anyway, sorry, we digress.
I
do
know,
apologise.
right. So there used to be a place there.
Is Pinky's not there anymore then?
I actually don't know. I'll be honest, I've had to do a lot of cutbacks in the last couple of years. I don't get anything done anymore. But there is a place, and I've seen it, they posted 5 days ago about
Right.
spray tans, Vanity House.
That's by you.
Oh, I've heard of
That's
them.
by you.
Yeah, that's not around the corner from...
Urban
Balcon Atlantic.
Balcon
yeah,
de
Balcon
Atlantico.
Atlantico. Just not the Balcon de Atlantico, the next turning up, and it's halfway up the hill on the right-hand side.
Yeah, where the Tasca bar
That's
is
right,
and
that's
all
right,
those,
yeah.
yeah? Oh, wow.
So there you go, that's where you can go.
I can walk there from the house. I live around the corner.
I don't know if it's moved since then, you know.
Oh, well, that's where I knew it was last time. And that
Maybe
was
they haven't updated their thing. Go and ask them. But yeah, they do a spray tan. So yeah,
Will you drop a message and find out where they are?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
And
You'll leave that in your...
Inquire, it's for a...
I'm going to leave my spray tan in your capable hands, Jen.
okay. Can you treat us all to a spray tan?
I don't know. We'll go for the experience, yeah.
Can we? Yeah, should we do a spray tan pot?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want one.
So what you?
Why?
I don't want one.
Why?
Because look at me.
We just want to see you in the paper pants, Steve.
That's what I'm worried about.
I don't know if it's still the same, but when you first have it, you have to leave it on like 8 hours, and you look like orange.
Yeah, no.
And then you can have a shower, and it like leaves it. So
Yeah.
But you were saying that you put it on yourself with...
Oh,
So how do the girls get this thing where their hands are orange and their feet are orange and... Because they look like Oompa Loompas.
When was the last time you saw someone with orange hands and orange feet and stuff from that concept?
If you go to Newcastle Airport, I guarantee you will see mothers and daughters walking through, or Manchester Airport. It tends to be more northern.
to be northern airports. It does.
Or Liverpool Airport, obviously. But you will see hundreds of them.
Don't they have that, what is it, sun protection that's got a bronzer in it? Don't they have...
What, sun
that
cream?
Sun cream that's got a brown tint in it. Isn't that not
maybe,
a thing?
I don't know.
I don't need it.
Moisturiser.
If I know I've got like a night out planned, or like I'm going to Craig David in the north in a couple of weeks, about 4 days before I will start applying, and it's only a tinted moisturiser,
Right.
so it's not a full-on self-tan cream. But the one
Why
from-
you sit in the sun?
That's exactly it. That's what they say.
because I'm a pasty freckly person, I don't tan that well. So
I've got kids and no time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I've got a tanning mitt, and I will just put it on that. And because it's from Mercadona, and it's probably for Spanish, it slaps on me quite good. Like it makes me pretty dark.
When was the last time you put it on?
I haven't put it on this year, I don't think. I've
I
not
was
been
gonna
out.
say, you can tell.
You can see my friend. Says you, Pasty Pete over there.
Pasty Pete.
It's true.
Was that the camera wasn't on you
No.
then, was it? Ooh, missed a treat there. Missed an absolute treat. Right. And I also know somewhere else, because I just want to mention they were waiting for a while ago, and I don't know if they ever got it, but Phoenix Hair and Beauty in the Golf were getting a
Whereabouts
spray
in the
tan
Golf?
on San Andreas, near the golf course. There's a little like
Golf de Sur.
and Golf del Sur, up the one-way system. So I don't know if they have it yet, but I know they were going to.
Well, let us know. We'll get one done.
Okay, I can't.
We'll just do
wait.
Steve's
No.
Why don't you want it? It looks good.
There's no need.
Honestly, when you've got
I just
one,
don't need it.
When it fades away, you feel like an absolute
You do,
minger.
you do, Steve.
Like you just bring it on. Okay, I want to go on to something a little bit different, boys. So obviously we've been doing a what's your favourite. I'm going to do something called a yes or no now. So this was actually something posted on the Oasis FM Facebook and social media pages. Picture the scene. You buy the pool. You're trying to get that tan yourself without any kind of enhancements.
Without any spraying.
Sun is shining.
What, cheating you mean? You're cheating.
Yeah, because you've already got your pre-tan tan.
You've got the recommendation on Facebook, and you've just gone to know the sun. Sun shining, drink in your hand.
That's going to be on the reel. That's got to be cut on the reel. Like, it's got to be.
And suddenly, doosh, 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 someone's blasting their music from their speaker across the whole place.
Wow.
Right. Is it a yes? Love it. Adds to the atmosphere. Is it a no? I came to relax. Hear your playlist. Right. Okay. I feel like I'm coming to you first, Chris. You seem very opinionated on this one.
Oh, it just does my head in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a killjoy, but at the same time, if you want to listen, and normally when you get this, it's somebody by themselves. Yeah? So, well, it is though, isn't it? It's somebody by themselves just being a tosser.
Yeah.
So put your earpods in and listen to it yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I go and sit by a group of teenagers and this, that, and they're having a good time, fine, I've got no issue with that. Yeah? And if you go to a beach club or whatever where they've got music on, fine. But no, it's the same. Do you know if you're anywhere like, I don't know, you might be waiting at the dentist or something and everyone's on their phone. Then all of a sudden somebody's phone gives out a load of volume. The look everyone gives each other. It's like that, isn't it? And I just think it's discourteous, to be honest.
And like, I think in the UK, you hear it all the time, like kids on the back of a bush just blaring their music.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't need to.
No,
Again, put your headphones in. Go on, Steve.
I'm with Chris, and I'm going to say no if it's some person who's doing. Whenever I'm sunbathing, if you like, whether I'm relaxing by a pool or whatever, I have my own AirPods in anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm usually listening to my own music. So it would have to be pretty, because they're noise cancelling. It would have to be pretty loud, but it would piss me off.
No, we're talking about not wearing earpods.
Even if I'm wearing my AirPods.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I'm wearing my AirPods, which are noise cancelling. So I tend to not hear other people's music. It's the same on a cruise ship. The cruise ship had music constantly.
What about the principle, though, of people just being like...
If I wasn't...
It's my music, I'm at the pool, I'm going to play what I want.
Yeah, no, knobhead. It's plain and simple. You're being a knobhead.
Yeah.
And so, I'm going to say no.
And everyone has such different tastes in music. I'm going to tell you a situation then, because I've been in this situation and you probably maybe would have hated me. So I went on a girls' day out to Paradise Park. We had the day pass, the all-inclusive day pass, and there was 5 of us. So we all created a little playlist. We bought a mini speaker. But hear me out. Where we sunbathed was like...
No.
There's 2 pools and we were on our own in an area.
If I'd have walked past...
But it wasn't loud. It was just like between the group. If we'd gone, you couldn't hear it as soon as you walked away to the bar.
Because if I had, your mini speaker would have been in the pool.
That's don't get me wrong. That's slightly different because you are being thoughtful about other people.
Yeah, it's the thoughtfulness that.
But obviously, if you'd just been, we're not staying here. We've paid to be here, so I'm going to put. No.
I agree. Like, and I'm quite fussy with what music I want to listen to, so I wouldn't want to be forced to listen.
What
to
did
someone
you?
else's
You went to
music
Sign Park over the weekend. What did you think of the music at Sign Park? Because a lot of people criticise it.
I'm really surprised at that because I didn't find it invasive. I think it adds a nice ambiance. In fact, there was a point where it was getting towards the later on in the day and I took the kids to the singer and had the drama. And I was like, we was all a bit cold because we'd got out the pool to go to it. And I made a rule that every time we passed the speaker that had music, we have to have a little dance because just to try and keep us warm.
Yeah.
And actually, I enjoyed it. I think it was, I don't think it's...
People may or may not know, but we used to have a studio at Sign Park. Yeah, which,
I was in it, yeah.
Absolutely. The one in the corner with the glass one upstairs where the machine was for the wave machine. Do you remember?
Yes.
The button for the wave machine. Yeah. Or was it the
button,
mechanics
it's
of it?
only no, it's the button. But they only use it to start it. Once it starts. But it's only set to, was it number 2, wasn't it, out of 6?
This is one of my favourite stories. Why?
Because I've seen videos of people putting on the influence who've been there, and they're like, "We've been to the wave pot," and then all of a sudden they just and they get pushed over by the.
Well, when they were building it, they tested it. Yeah, and you know this, don't you? And you know when you walk into the water, it sort of goes shallow. There's like a break in it. That never used to be there.
Right.
And when they first opened it, they whacked it right up full, which is about 15 years ago now, isn't it? It's ages ago.
What level should we put it at, sir?
Was it 2008? Was it? And hang on, and they did it. Because the actual mechanism was built in Scotland. There's a whole hour program called Building the Biggest Wave in the World. It was on Discovery Channel. It's really interesting, actually. But they did it, and the water went straight out over the beach, because the sand wasn't there at the time, over the wall, through the car park and onto the motorway.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So they turned it down. But obviously when they do the surfing, they do turn it back up again.
Of course.
But yeah, and I remember talking to Christoph about the music at Sign Park, because I was like, well, we're here, we're doing radio shows, and there was 3 of us. There was a Spanish station, German station, and us. We used to have a studio at Laura Park as well. Long way to go for a show.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I was like, can't we put it out? And he was like, the reason we have music is to stop this. It's so that if people put their own speakers, or they can go up to them and go, sorry, we've got our own music.
Right.
And I was like, well, what about, voices and all the rest of it? And they said, we can't, because they tried it. And what happened, say, for example, we went, Jen, and I can't find you. You go to them and go, can you just put a shout out, please? I can't find my husband, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, it's just, imagine all that all afternoon.
Mrs. Smith, please report to the singer, or Mrs. Smith, please report to the... Yeah, that would be boring, wouldn't it? That would, yeah. But I actually get why they do that now that you've explained it. If there is already music playing, you don't need to put your own music on because we've provided
It means they
for
can
you.
tell people no.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
any backlash.
And actually, it must be weird. It must be such a long time since I've been to Sci-Fi. I don't remember.
It was all 80s.
The
It's a
music,
lot of it's
was it?
80s, isn't it?
Very
it?
much so.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even
You'd love it, Steve. ABBA.
What makes you think I like ABBA?
No, but it's all cheesy
right,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah. Don't you
It's
like
funny, I
ABBA?
don't
You don't
remember.
like ABBA, do you?
I know it's an unpopular opinion. I mean,
Not really.
come for me.
Yeah.
But no, I can't do ABBA.
Really?
I
Do you know
hate
what, though?
it.
When we do Tributo Fest, which tickets are on sale for Rod Stewart and Tina Turner, by the way, right now, ABBA is always one of the most popular ones.
I know and I
And
think
would you-
even I have friends that are in ABBA tribute band, and they're always
Yeah.
sold out. They're all like the bars are always packed. I get it. People love them. It's an unpopular opinion. I just think it's so over.
Would you go to Voyage in London?
No.
Would
I
you,
wouldn't
Steve?
choose to.
Yes, because
It's the hologram one.
family
Yeah, I know,
family
yeah.
of mine have been, and they say to me, even if you don't like ABBA particularly, the show itself is really worth
Do you want to hear a really good, funny story about that?
Yeah.
So when they built this, obviously the residents all complained about the venue, purpose-built venue. So they, when they did the first night, they invited all the local residents. They said,
Great
right, okay,
idea.
you can all come. And when the holograms first appeared, everyone surged forward, the same as at a proper concert, and they were like, this means we know we've got it right. But what they said is that afterwards, people were waiting outside the stage door to get a selfie or autograph from ABBA, and they're not real. Then there's no one on stage.
I mean, I feel out the three of us, I'm probably the least educated, the one that would be the kind of person to do stupid things, but that even blows my mind.
I wondered where that was going then. But yeah, glad you said you wouldn't be the person who was waiting backstage to get a selfie or an autograph. Can I get Benny's autograph?
Can I get a selfie?
No, he's in Sweden. What are you talking about?
Right, well, boys, I think let's call it a day there. Come at us in the comments if you want to talk like that, please do. If you want to be nice, even more so, bring it on, and I will update you on your spray tan.
Thank you.